If you were cataloging the signs of a stage musical that has had a robust life over a period of not just years but decades, here are two things that might be included on that list. A. The show engenders such a sense of family among those who've performed it that even members of casts from different times and places mix well together, and B. You could practically create an entire alternate version of the musical just by doing a separate assemblage of the very good songs that were cut as the show went through different incarnations. Both these signposts came to the fore in Reefer Madness, the musical reunion concert, a one-time performance bringing together actors and creatives who've been a part of different productions of the cult show Reefer Madness over the past quarter-century plus. The retrospective concert was produced as a benefit last week at the Whitley Theatre in Hollywood, where the currently revival has just been extended through September 15th. Kristen Bell, who played the role of Mary Lane in the 2001 New York stage production and 2005 Showtime movie version, and Christian Campbell, who joined her in the film adaptation as the weed-addicted Jimmy, both got substantial time in the reunion concert. They're among the producers of the Hollywood production now playing, as is Alan Cumming, who did not make it to the concert but introduced the evening via video. Another marquee name who joined the intermingling of past and present cast members was Rachel Bloom, who has never appeared in Reefer Madness but came down to Hollywood to belt out The Monkey Song, a long-discarded number that dates back to the show's earliest days at the Hudson Theater down on Santa Monica Boulevard in the late 90s. Although the reunion event's host, original director Andy Fickman, did not lay out the terms of the concert at the outset, it soon turned out that the plan for the evening was to tell the story of the different versions of Reefer Madness almost entirely via songs that got dropped along the way. These even included two numbers that were a part of the current Hollywood production when it opened on May 30th, to keep it a lean 82.5 minutes, as the writer of the music for all the songs, Dan Studney, regretfully explained, there was a bittersweetness to the parade of musical excisions. Condensed down into a one-act musical, the version of Reefer Madness now running works like a well-lubed with cannabis oil machine. And Studney may not be just blowing smoke when he says, "It's my favorite production in 25 years." But the effect of hearing 10 numbers that have gotten the boot was to think, following each one, that definitely should be put back in the show. One song that is still in the show, Mary Jane/Mary Lane, served as the reunion concert's full cast finale, led by Bell and Campbell. It's enough of a staple that fans of the show may have a hard time remembering it wasn't there for the original LA and New York productions. As Fickman explained, during the Showtime shoot, we were in Vancouver and Kevin, Murphy, the book and lyrics writer, and Dan had to write one new song so we could be considered from some awards. They kept writing song after song after song, and Kevin and Dan wrote this song quicker than any song. Campbell and Christian rehearsed the choreography on this number endlessly. The day we were supposed to film, we had a permit issue and we didn't have time to finish it. So it was pretty much, you two, just be adorable and we'll shoot it. And this song won us an Emmy Award. Fickman told how the Showtime version came about, as the Cabler's one-time head, Bob Greenblatt, sat in the audience. Like so much others in the world, we had a show that was opening in New York during 9/11, and we closed and we bonded together as a family. We thought that was the last time we would have Reefer Madness and it ended pretty bittersweetly. But Kevin and Dan had written a screenplay. And we decided to do a reading at what was the Coronet, now Largo, and we asked Campbell to come join us and we mixed and matched our LA and New York casts. And that night there was an angel with us. It was about his third day working as the head of Showtime, and our friend Bob Greenblatt saw it and said, "I don't know what we're doing at Showtime. Let's try it." They sent Kevin and Dan and I to Vancouver, where they had just shot the pilot for The L Word, which is set in present-day West Hollywood. Reefer Madness takes place in Americana in the 1930s. They gave us a tour and said, "We just did this pilot. We don't know if we're gonna pick up the pilot, but if you can find a way to shoot your 1930s movie on the L Word set, you have a green light." And I remember looking at Kevin and Dan, and looking at all the fine people at Showtime, and I said, "It's exactly what we had hoped for." So Bob Greenblatt, we're here today still because of you. Fickman and Studney both talked about the spiritual origins of the show. The director and two co-writers were all Rocky Horror Picture Show fans, but Murphy and Studney also drew inspiration from another irreverent musical. Said Studney, "When we went to school, Kevin and my musical theater teacher growing up was the developing producer of Little Shop of Horrors. If you know our show, and you know that show, you might see a bit of crossover there. And just because it's a fun night, we thought maybe we just steer away from Reefer madness for a second."